Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And wow. Some news came out last night apparently that I missed, and I'm ashamed that I didn't get a chance to make a video yesterday about it. Michael Keaton, the original cinematic movie Batman, from Batman '89, the original movie that they made, is in talks to come back as Batman, which is amazing. Like, I would have never thought this would happen. There was rumors like 4 years ago about him possibly coming back. Never thought it would happen for sure. And he's got a pretty good gig with Sony right now in the MCU with the Spider-Man film. So I thought that probably wouldn't happen. Technically he isn't working for Marvel, but he is, because he did the Sony film. But it was part of the MCU, so I thought that might have been a conflict of interest, because I know Foggy is very strict on, actors being, not a part of the DC superheroes and stuff like that. But technically he's a part of Sony, so maybe Sony's more lenient to that stuff. So I'm not sure how that works, but nonetheless, Michael Keaton is in talks to return as Batman. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Michael Keaton was the first cinematic movie Batman, '89, as well as the sequel, with the Penguin and Joker, and Catwoman too. Penguin, Catwoman in the sequel, in Batman Returns, and then Batman 1989, the first one with Joker. Those were the two original films. Those were groundbreaking films. People still love them to this day. Obviously, after Tim Miller left because Warner Brothers, being douchey, greedy people that wanted to make it more kid-friendly, decided to get Joe Schumacher to replace Tim Miller. But Joe Schumacher just recently, unfortunately, passed away. May he rest in peace. Joe Schumacher took over and did Batman Forever. Unfortunately, Michael Keaton did not return. They had to get someone to look like Michael Keaton in the next film, and then of course they had to get someone else for Batman and Robin for the fourth film to kind of look like Keaton, even though it wasn't him. So, with that being said, because that was the same Batman, even though it was a different actor, if this is true, and they're doing this is supposed to be in the Flashpoint film that's supposed to come out in 2022. If this is the case, I am just going to assume. There's a couple of different things. When I look at the article here, they kind of say it's in talks, not for sure, but who knows? Usually when people are in talks, it's pretty accurate. So going through this, the Flashpoint film is supposed to be, which has been rumored for a while, it is supposed to be the same actor from the Justice League Flash, the Adams Flash, Bruce Allen Flash. So if that's going to be the same actor, it would make sense to get like someone else in there, because not many, people know the Flash, but I don't think people know the in-depth character like the mainstream media knows the in-depth character of the Flash. So I don't think Flash, especially a speedy guy like the Flash as a character, is going to be able to sell a film like that. So it makes sense that they would want to stack this film with, other superheroes. There's a lot of different things with this film that they could do. There's a lot of directions they could go in. Honestly, the DCEU is kind of confusing at this point anyways. It's basically a multiverse, essentially. So there are a couple different ways they could go about this. So the first thing, since this is supposed to be the same Flash actor from the Justice League movie, they could go in a direction where Michael Keaton's, who's playing Batman in this film, now it doesn't say he's actually playing Batman. It says he's playing Bruce Wayne, but obviously Bruce Wayne is Batman. But with that being said, there's a lot of different things. Since this Batman is a part of the Justice League DCEU, which is not a part of the Batman solo film that's coming out in a couple of years, as that's clearly obvious. Different actor, obviously. Commissioner Gordon is different, in a big way, from where we've ever seen the character like before. So obviously that Batman, and it's supposed to be a younger Batman. So obviously that Batman is not connected to this Flashpoint film. That Batman solo film is going to be either tied in with the Joker film somehow, because I know I've heard rumors. Everyone keeps spreading the rumors that the Joker film is somehow tied in with the Batman film. It's not supposed to be. It never was intended to be. That film was it's a solo film, but maybe AT&T has worked out a deal to connect those films somehow. But as of right now, it is just supposed to be a standalone film. But that is just one theory out there for it, since you do see Bruce Wayne as a kid in that film. And obviously this is supposed to be a young Batman in the Batman solo film. So, with Robert Pattinson's. So that's one of the theories out there. But as of right now, that's not how it's going to be, unless something comes to agreement with everyone in charge of that. But anyways, in the theory of Michael Keaton, there are different things. Now, here's the first one that is probably the most plausible, but probably unlikely. But it is the most plausible based on movie cinematic wise, is that Michael Keaton is just simply replacing Ben Affleck's Batman in the DCEU. Since Ben Affleck is no longer going to be Batman, he's not coming back. I know they've worked out with something with the Superman actor, to be a support main character in other films that aren't titled Superman. But Ben Affleck's is done unless we hear something otherwise. He's given all those indications. But nonetheless, that is the one more plausible, is that they can't, since they can't get Ben Affleck to come back and be Batman, they're going to just get someone that everybody loves, and everybody loves Michael Keaton as Batman because he was the original cinematic, Batman in the movies, obviously Adam West was the original, in the television series and stuff like that, but for the first one to do it in an actual live action movie, it was Michael Keaton. So, maybe that's what they're trying to do here, is say, hey, look, we can't get Ben Affleck back, but look, we're going to give you something that you really like, someone that you guys grew up with, as Batman. That was, and that was Michael Keaton. He was the first Batman. Everybody loved him. Let's put him in there and let's have him be there. Yeah, he won't look the same as Ben Affleck's, but hey, it's Michael Keaton. So that's theory one. Like I said, it's unlikely, but it is the most plausible of why AT&T would want to do this. To just give fan service, like, yeah, we can't get Ben Affleck, but we can get this guy that you like. Then people will just accept it because it's Michael Keaton. So that's one thing. Theory two is, in this article it says Bruce Wayne. It doesn't actually say Batman. It doesn't actually really word that he's going to actually be Batman. It just says he's coming back as Bruce Wayne. So maybe he's coming back as old Bruce Wayne. And maybe, you're introducing possibly, Terry, Batman Beyond. Since this is Flashpoint, and Flash can obviously go through universes because, that's what it kind of does. And so maybe, he goes back to Michael Keaton's Batman universe, and, now Batman is older, and you see Batman Beyond. You see Terry as Batman now, and you see old Batman kind of like how they did in the cartoon. You could do something like that, and then you have you got a new Batman actor in there now as Terry. That is another thing they could do. That they could do with this. Or the third thing they could be doing is they could be basically doing the same thing as the second film, but the only difference is instead of introducing Terry as as Batman Beyond, you just have Bruce Wayne still as Batman. You still have Michael Keaton as Batman, and you just basically not acknowledge Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Those two films, you don't acknowledge them, and you do kind of what Terminator Genisys did. Terminator Genisys only acknowledged T1 and T2, and they did not acknowledge T3 and T4. That's kind of what they would essentially do here. Is you would acknowledge, Batman '89, and then Batman Returns. And then that's it. You just don't acknowledge the two other films, and you just kind of reference those films. And then, Batman, as Michael Keaton as Batman just kind of helps out Flash. Since now Flash is in the Batman universe, the original Batman universe, or the original Batman movie universe. He basically helps him out, and, that's kind of like, you kind of goes from there. I think Batman will have a main stake in this movie, because obviously they want, Michael Keaton's not coming back just to be like, a one-liner, character in this movie. If he's gonna be in this movie, he's gonna be in this movie for, a lot. He's not gonna be the main character, but he's definitely gonna have a significant role in this movie. Because that would be the only thing that would make sense. So yeah, that's what I'm really thinking right now. We'll see. But I'm definitely interested now in the Flash film. I wasn't really too keen on the Flash film. But if they're gonna have Michael Keaton in this shit, that's gonna be some good shit, if they're trying to somehow set that universe back up, or relaunch that universe, because a lot of people like to relaunch, past universes, that were from 20 years ago. They're trying to do it with Ghostbusters now, after the failed one in 2016. They tried to do it with Terminator, even though it was dog shit. I'm talking about you, Dark Fate. That crappy film. Never should have seen the light of day. I would have just rather seen a Genisys sequel. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. I'm not sure. Like I said, these are in the early stages. it's kind of surprising that they're going to have another Batman while they're doing the Robert Pattinson's Batman, because I think that's coming out around the same time, or probably will now because of the delays in all this because of COVID-19. But yeah, I'm totally down for it. I'm totally down for bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman, whether he's replacing Ben Affleck's or they're somehow, having Flash, go to the Michael Keaton Batman universe. I'm really, really interested to see what they're doing, and I'm glad that he's going to get to suit up. I'm glad that, Sony's not giving him any issues with this, because I know because Sony is okay with it. I know Marvel wouldn't be, because Marvel doesn't like to have, actors working for DC and Marvel. Technically, the character he plays is controlled by Sony, but Sony has given Marvel permission to use that character in the MCU. And so, he's through a Sony contract through Marvel. I don't know exactly how they're doing that or how they're handling that, but nonetheless, he's allowed to come back and be, Batman again, which is awesome. Let me know what you guys think. What is your theories? How do you think Michael Keaton will come back if he is in Flashpoint? What do you think the plot will be? What do you think, his role will be? Is he just an, Ben Affleck's replacement, or do you think or you think that, Flash is going to the old Batman universe that Michael Keaton was in? What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment, rate if you like this video or my videos. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for all the latest content. And that is about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.